those points up, and maybe Finbarr stays undefeated. But we'll take a look at MK first. MK, our reigning second place world champion, the fastest guess time that we have in this league, I would guess, with that 15 seconds in a round. Some players hate playing against it.
Yeah, and you see the contrast with Finbarr, 43 seconds average guess time. I would imagine MK is going to stick to his usual strategy. He's just going to send his guesses very, very quickly. And it's impressive to see MK with the 62%, 4,500 plus points accuracy, especially given how he basically doesn't move in his moving games. He just sends his guesses so quickly. So definitely some contrasting playstyles here. It's going to be interesting to see how they clash.
Definitely. Agreed. And that is such a good stat to look at as well, that 62% above 4,500. So interesting to point out. But sometimes it doesn't always work out for him, because you can see he has lost some matches there. But Finbarr in that 9th place spot, MK is going to want to take that from him in this matchup. We start off quick. We get right into our moving round. MK doesn't want to move.
Yeah, and this is what we're going to see consistently from MK throughout the course of the match. Finbarr, we saw Finbarr play last week, and he played incredibly well, especially in his moving games. I was super impressed by his moving skills. So, especially given that, MK, he's not going to be taking his time. He's just going to look around, be like, okay, this is here, and he's going to send. He's not going to worry about anything else.
It would be dangerous to really let Finbarr move around, honestly. He showed a masterclass in moving that I think was somewhat expected, but not at the level he did last week, as you just mentioned.
Yeah. So this is southern Bhutan. I like the guess. I think it's maybe more closer to Galappu, which is a little further east of where MK is. So Finbarr is about in the same place.
Yeah, both players almost on top of each other there. Finbarr just a little closer.
Yep, it does end up being Galappu. Very sort of distinctive area in the far south of Bhutan. But Bhutan, of course, is a small country, not one that's going to make too much of a difference either way.
And we move on to round 3. Players are in what appears to be possibly a Romania.
I agree with that, for sure. Yep. MK just looking around, confirming it's Romania, and then immediately sends. Again, I don't think he has any information, but there's no real reason for him to let Finbarr get information. So he's just going to go ahead and go fast. See.
Relatively similar region guesses here, yeah. But MK closer. This is far north. That's what MK is going to really need in this moving game. He doesn't look too happy with that somehow, but he is getting that chip damage, which is how he's going to probably end up winning a moving game against Finbarr realistically, is putting on the speed and just getting that chip damage, being a little bit closer based off of only region guesses.
Yeah, what Finbarr needs is a round with info nearby, which this could be. If he could find some information that MK can't, that could make the difference for him. We will see an Urban Italy round. Definitely going to be some information. So Pesaro is a city in eastern Italy. I don't know if MK knows that.
Yeah,
it's a little further down near San Marino. He has Rimini, so Finbarr knows Rimini.
That's going to be a big help for him. MK in Po Valley right now, so that's going to be a pretty big difference. 2.5 times damage. This could be some decent points. Definitely won't see game, but going to be a hit to MK if he doesn't get any more information here and move.
Yep. And again, MK is showing that he's not quite as experienced when it comes to moving. He does have a town name, he just doesn't know where it is or how to use that information. So we'll see some good damage for Finbarr here.
Wow, that's Finbarr basically on it. The 4999 deals 1,800 points of damage to MK. MK not too happy with that. It's a bit of a surprise, actually. He did take the time to look around there because it was urban, but it just didn't pay off for him. That moving skill from Finbarr really showed.
Yeah, the one time he decided, well, we're in the middle of a city, so I may as well go and look for something because Finbarr's going to find it. But he did find some info. He just unfortunately wasn't able to use it.
We do see a quick lock here from Bulgaria from MK, while Finbarr is zoomed in on Romania. So we'll see. He does stay Romania. This is a difference in country. They are bordering countries, though. Right on the border.
It was probably Bulgaria, so maybe a bit lucky for Finbarr that it happened to be in the north.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of luck. MK's not looking too happy with his performance right now, just based off the cam. Obviously, we're just trying to guess his emotion based off what we see there, but it is pretty close here. Finbarr, 100-point lead.
You see the difference in playstyle. Finbarr booking it down the road, MK just kind of looking around, getting a feel for the landscape. Interesting guess from Finbarr. He's quite far east, and it ends up being south coast.
Yeah, I could imagine this being a win that MK wants mentally right now, because MK knows he was second place in the World Cup. Finbarr, currently now undefeated. This could be good for MK to really make a bit of a comeback here and take a win and hopefully move on back up the ladder. He is out of the top 12 right now.
Yep. Finbarr, meanwhile, trying to stay undefeated. We'll see how long he can keep that up. MK probably his toughest opponent yet. See,
Definitely could be said.
They both saw the words Bele Vode, but that isn't that helpful. Savineku, that maybe means we're near the Sava River, which is in Slovenia, among other countries. Both players agree with that.
MK with the quick lock. Finn a little closer. Just a couple points there, but Finn holds his lead. He's now about 1,000 health in the lead as we move on to round 8.
3 rounds to go. They're quite rural round, but this is a Russia. Finbarr, one of the best Russia players in the world, immediately zooming into a very specific road southeast of Chita. And if Finbarr is zooming into something in Russia, I certainly would not bet against him. MK in a similar area, but he's a good deal further northwest, I think.
Yes,
he
is. I think this will be, Finn, one of those best players. He knew the right area, not exactly on it, but a very good guess with 4.5 times damage. That puts MK on 224 health. Finn comfortably 4,200 still.
What's interesting is that if Finbarr actually got the correct town there, he would have won, but he was a little bit further to the northwest, so see if that ends up making a difference. Oh, he's got some info here, so surely Finbarr wins here.
Surely this is game. MK with a quick guess. Finn moved a little farther and found the info. Is he on the road? That's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. MK cannot keep up and put on the pressure enough. Even giving Finbarr only 15 seconds, it worked out for him. In the end, he found enough info to take that game.
Yep. We see again the moving prowess from Finbarr, how strong he is, how well he's able to find that info and use it quickly. And that was the difference. Game 1 against MK. See if he can stay undefeated in this no move, though. This is MK's specialty.
We will see. This is... I would assume that MK didn't necessarily expect to win the moving and wanted to take it to the no move and then the NMPZ. So we'll see how he fares here. We have round 1. Seems to be Argentina.
Yep. Likely quite south. We have those poplar trees in the distance, which you see a good amount in sort of the southern half of Argentina, near where both players are clicking here. So I would imagine not too much damage is going to be on offer here.
Both right there, just on top of each other on the same road. 55 points to MK.
Finbarr locked in right now. But it's going to take a lot of great guesses from him if he wants to beat MK no move.
The quick lock from MK. Did he NMPZ that? I didn't even see.
Wait. I'm not even sure, but it's a very different guess. Finbarr is down in Victoria.
Yeah, this is going to be big points, even though it's only 1.5 times damage. MK on top of it right away, just near Brisbane. 1.5 times, that's 4k damage to Finbarr in only round 2.
It's so impressive the way he's able to look at that and know it's Brisbane within like 2 seconds and just sends with enough confidence he doesn't even want to think about it. He just knows.
He just knows. He knows again. Round 3, the quick Sweden guess. Finn a little farther north, but pretty close. MK a little closer, 2 times damage. Shouldn't be game, but it will be a little bit more of a hit. Finbarr on only 1k health now.
Finbarr in danger is losing his very first game of the tournament here. Another rural Europe round.
A difficult one.
Not sure what the country is here. Looks like the players aren't too sure either.
Yeah, even MK looked Russia. A bit confused there.
Both of them going northern Russia now, which makes a lot of sense given the vegetation. I do like the guess. Again, I wouldn't bet against Finbarr in Russia, although MK's guess is still pretty similar.
Oh, and it's closer from MK. That's going to take the game.
Wow. Dominant from MK in the no move there. Incredible guesses. Just you see why his accuracy is above 60% for 4,500 plus, despite the fact that he doesn't even move in a moving game. He's just so consistent. He's always close. It's really amazing what he's able to do.
That's true class. Taking the game, no move, in 4 rounds against the so far undefeated Finbarr. First game, lost. We go to NMPZ.
This is interesting. Yeah, both players going Ulan-Ude. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, it looks a lot like Russia. We have pretty tall mountains in the distance that we can see. So Ulan-Ude is definitely a good candidate. That's really impressive from both players there getting the city.
That is amazing. Both on it. The NMPZ guess in the correct city. We go to round 2.
So
Quick
zoom. French road lines. Yeah, so there's this road line in the center that's like a little thing that's like, but it's like staggered. It's hard for me to explain when you can't see it on the screen. But that is exclusive to France, and both players knew it just had to be France.
It's the 2 little staggered white squares.
Yep.
That's a good way to put it. Round 3, another very quick zoom here from both players right into Ecuador. I believe we do see some Ecuador bollards.
Yep. Ecuador bollards on the side. Double guardrails are very common in Ecuador among South American countries. And you also have this camera quality. I suppose I'll call it bad cam, which you find a lot in places like India and Cambodia, but within Latin America, it is only in Ecuador.
Nothing to write home about there. We just go next. Multis are simply racking up. We have made it to round 4. The health looked quite different on our no move round 4. So this is a much closer game, NMPZ. You see Finn with the IRL zoom, moves his head closer into the monitor. Both players in Panama.
Took Finbarr a second to decide on Panama, but ends up making a really nice guess.
Very nice guess with 2.5 times damage. That's 1k points down to MK's health. We move on to round 5. 3 times damage. NMPZ. Super quick zooms from both players. MK and Quick. They're both in this very similar area there, so shouldn't be too much either. Again, we rack up the multis.
It's amazing how fast we're going here. MK, it really is impressive how quickly he gets vibes for places. And it can be really hard for opponents to keep up with. When he guesses in 2 seconds, it's hard to sort of get your bearings. Alice Springs, I like the guess again, and I think, again, yeah, Finbarr's going to have the same idea. Urban Australia, but very, very dry and hilly. Makes perfect sense for Alice Springs.
And they're both there. MK didn't even zoom all the way in, just kind of space plonked it, as we would call it. But they're both there, 66 points down. We go next.
Incredible consistency in the NMVZ so far. I mean, we're in round 7, hardly any damage on either side.
This is truly impressive.
It's like a South Africa, yeah. I mean, I agree with just clicking Joburg. Both players
on each other.
Had the exact same idea every single time.
But MK a little closer with the multis. It's going to be a little hit, but still not too much. They've evened it out a little bit, though, which really means these last couple rounds are going to count so much, especially if they continue to only chip damage against each other.
This is everything for sure.
Round 8.
God, here is this New Zealand or is it like UK or Ireland? It's hard for me to tell.
This is difficult. We see both players getting closer in their monitors, possibly trying to take a look at some of those license plates, things like that. I do like the Australia guess here, does make sense. It does seem like they're parked on the left side of the street, so that helps at least with the left side driving.
Yep. Oh, so Finbarr going New Zealand. So yeah, that was my first thought, although Australia obviously makes sense too, but this is going to be game either way, I think.
MK locks in Australia. Finn confidently in New Zealand. That wins the game for Finbarr with 4.5 times damage. Finn wins.
Finn wins. He loses his first individual game, but still manages to take the match. And just incredible. I mean, I think Finbarr now on 11 points through 4 matches. I mean, can't ask for much more.